But many also believe that the National Assembly delegation from Benue State are also not helping matters. I mean, what I've heard is that the 3 senators, 11 House of Reps members, including you, not helping matters. How often do you and other federal lawmakers from Benue engage with the governor on this crucial matter?
Now, when they say we are not helping matters, in what way? Now, as a person, I have my personal relationship with the governor.
A good personal relationship.
Yes. And these insecurity issues, I know the length at which we discussed. Okay? Now, that aside.
When you tell him all of the things you're telling me on air?
Sure, of course.
How does he react to them?
Of course, he's always willing. He will tell you, yes, I'm going to act on them.
Does he act on them?
You know, this is why we're here.
Challenges. Okay.
This is why we're here. Now, you see, that of the senators, my other colleagues, let me tell you, no human being or someone with good heart that is being elected by his people will be happy watch his people died. So I don't believe that any of my colleagues will be happy to see what is befalling us as a state. So many times we have decried this, even unanimously granting an interview that we are not happy with what is happening in Benue State regarding insecurity. You will see also, what else do you want us to do?
But has the governor formally requested support or some sort of collaboration from the National Assembly caucus?
For me, I have not received any formal invitation by him.
So how do you have this conversation with him?
Now, that was before the whole thing got the way it was.
So the relationship is now
fractured. So
there is no relationship at the moment.
At some point, of course, I have to tell myself, hey, David, you are representing a people. Look at how your people will be secure. Because the first person that will be asked, as long as Ogewu federal constituency is concerned, when it comes to that leadership, I will be the #1 person to be asked. So I moved straight. What I did at that point was to make sure I take a motion requesting for forward operation base in my federal constituency. It was granted by the House, and I moved in for that establishment. He's there today. And I can assure you, since that time, we've not had any attack.
Right.
Either from the neighbor side, because we are boundary between Ebonyi, the other way to Enugu, a little bit, you go to Cross River, look at Cameroon. So we are now fine. And we make sure that we also watch, because security is everyone's business.
I mean, that's your own constituency, but what happens to other constituencies?
Yeah, so I think, you know, also I have to say this. Okay. Like I said, security is quite expensive. It's not very easy that way. You will need that collaboration effort to be able, especially in some of those volatile areas in Benue State.
I'm talking about collaboration. I want you to establish it so we're clear. What you're saying tonight is that the governor of Benue State, Alia, does not have a good relationship with the 3 senators and 11 House of Reps members.
Of course, some of our colleagues, it's not the whole 11, some 2 House of Rep members, sometimes you see them. I just watched on news that one of them that was in PDP, because we are 11 House of Rep member, 10 APC, then 1 PDP. I saw one of the PDP decamping, you know, to APC and was with them recently. And then one of our other colleagues. That is 2. Now, what is expected for me as a person from him is very simple.
Okay.
A formal invitation to the National Assembly caucus. A formal invitation to the Secretary of the Federation. Please, let's sit together and fix our state.
Okay.
At that point, if that happens, and then the National Assembly caucus or the SGF do not respond, we will now be looking at, this...
If he does not write to the SGF and he writes to the 3 senators and 11 House of Reps members, would you still support him?
Why not?
All right.
It's our state.
All right, then. You know, the governor is not in terms with the idea of a state of emergency. It says this is not the solution to ending this problem. But how effective is the open grazing prohibition law? How has it been so far?
You see, some of these things, for me, I see them more of, I call it a kind of theoretical work. Sometimes I see some of these excuses as things they just want to push the real issues aside. Now, before now, our forefathers do not witness what we are witnessing. They didn't have this open grazing law or grazing law. But there was peace. There was harmony. I remember those days we travel on the road at night, at any time you travel at will. No problem. I remember those days growing up also, even taking us to farm, you have that freedom to, oh, I'm hungry, you take somebody's yam, roast it and eat while going to your own farm because of the distance. Now, these were the peaceful coexistence that existed between our people. What is really happening now is the question we should be asking ourselves. Now, if we have some of, let's say, for instance, the Fulanis coming to live with us, they know that this is Benue land. This is Benue land. And they know what is not right. I don't think if we are living well and we understand ourselves well, we'll be having issues. I don't think so. So it still boils down to having a round table discussion. My sister, the best form of approaching insecurity, number one, best option is that non-kinetic approach. Yeah,
but I mean, the governor had also had an opinion about this open grazing prohibition law. It says it cannot work. So if you were to revise the law today, what changes would you recommend?
Now, if it will not work, and people are saying to you,
do you know why he says it wouldn't work?
Some enemies are saying, this must be taken off for peace to reign.
What should be taken off?
The open grazing law.
Okay.
And others are saying, no, it must remain.
So it still boils down to unity.
Now, it boils down to unity. How can a moral person take his or her cattle to go and graze on people's crops, destroying the farm? Does that sound as if that person is okay? There must be something wrong, and there must be a reason. So the essence of that open grazing law is nothing more than don't allow these people to destroy our crops. We are known as food basket of the nation. That is because we have a whole lot of production of crops, food of all kinds. But today, what is happening to us? How many of our people can access their farms? So this is the essence of that law. And now if somebody is insisting that this law that person should be checked very well. I said that person should be checked because there must be a reason why that individual is saying, that's why we need to come in a round table talk. Tell us why you said this law should not exist. Are you happy with destruction of the crops? This is what is there. So for me, it's not even an excuse at all.
All right then.